What if I told you a lot of really good Japanese and anime video games came out in 2022? 2022 was a pretty dope year for video games in the anime and Japanese styled world. We had a lot of fun. We had a ton of fun, I gotta tell you. In fact, we had so much fun, we played like 39 games on this page. More than that really, but 39 that were mostly centered around Japanese and anime video games. In this video, we will not be covering every single game, but stay tuned for parts 2, 3, 4, 5, however many we need to make. Starting off way earlier in the year, we played a game called MOKOKO X, and if you're not familiar with this one, it was a ton of fun. MOKOKO X is kind of a fun game, and if you're on the PC, there's also kind of an H version of it too. We played it on the Switch, so it was a little lower key than that, but it is a fun little puzzler game where you try to save your favorite waifus using a little ship and avoiding different evil bad guys that are all themed after some really wild and kooky Japanese stuff. It was a really good game, and if you haven't checked it out for the Switch or for the PC. Another great game that we played was called GHOSTLORE. The best way I can describe it is anime Diablo. It really is something kind of special and kind of unique, and even cooler is very recently it was actually dropped on Xbox Game Pass. So if you have it, check it out, especially if you like Diablo and you like anime. It's kind of more of like a Thai world, but it's definitely gonna be up your alley and it's beautiful. Another game that I played in 2022, which I guess may not have come out in 2022 per se, is GHOSTRUNNER. Now, GHOSTRUNNER was an absolutely wicked first-person, fast-paced kind of puzzler slash fighter, one of those you get hit once and you die, so you repeat until you meet perfection. It was absolutely awesome. It's on a ton of systems. It's been out for a while, so you probably are familiar with it, but you should definitely check it out still. Even in 2022, it's a fantastic game. It has this kind of cool cyberpunk anime vibe to it throughout. A lot of technology, a lot of brutal action. It's fantastic. Coming up at a much slower pace, we had Tokyo CHRONOS VR. And the one thing that I have to say about this game is it really changed my mind about visual novels and what can be done in VR. This one was a little bit more simple, but I don't know, it really helped the visual novel experience. I'm not usually into them, but this had everything that I really do like about games. It felt a little bit like Persona. A lot of the settings were in really cool downtown Tokyo kind of places, and the characters were great, and it was just really neat to be inside the anime world that you're learning so much about as you meet the characters. Definitely check this one off as well. Neon White was also another really cool game that I played this year. Sort of like GHOSTRUNNER, it is very fast paced. It is not really a one hit if you die, but you gotta get through the levels really fast, and it started off really hard to play, but once you started to get into the controls, it is an absolute blast. The writing is a ton of fun. It screams anime all over. There's all sorts of wild and weird characters, and the levels get more and more challenging. 2022 also had another absolutely fantastic game. Now this one is kind of, I guess, on the edge of everything that we cover on the page, but Stray came out. A beautiful tale about a cat in a cyberpunk Chinese-styled world. And wow, this one did not disappoint at all. It's kind of short, it's very narrative driven, and a lot of the world building has to do with exploration, but this one hit the mark on the head. And by the time I was done, I really felt like I went through an emotional experience. If you missed out on Stray because you were just tired of all the cat memes, definitely give it a chance when you can. On the buggy but fun list, we had Made in Abyss, Binary Star Falling into Darkness, which is an absurdly long title, as many things Japanese, but this one's based off the anime. If you're a fan of the anime, there's a lot to like about this outside of all the incredible massive amount of bugs. And the other thing too, this game is just as hard as you would expect it to be. It's absolutely brutal. I haven't beat it yet. It's a real hard sludge to get through, but it is cool. It is really cool. And there's supposed to be more bug fixes that are coming out soon. They've already released a couple more in the future. 2022 also allowed us to meet a dev that we had not previously met, Stronga Games, who made the game My Big Sister, as well as Ashina the Red Witch. I had the opportunity to play both the games and neither of them disappointed. They're made in Game Maker and they are kind of simplistic, but they are good games. They have great narratives, they're a ton of fun to play, and the writing for the characters is amazing. It really is. It shows that true indie shine and passion behind the writing of the games, and I loved every minute of it. So check out Ashina the Red Witch, as well as My Big Sister, which is recently remastered. I have to admit something. I have something that I need to tell you. This year, I fell in love with the game I never thought I would. It's a game that we play pretty much every Friday, going on now. It's called Splatoon 3, and I don't really think it needs a whole lot of introduction. It's a very fast-paced multiplayer game, and if you get some friends and they jump in on the Discord like we do, it's a ton of fun. I really can't say enough about it. Huge shout out to Flash for holding down the fort, and Chloe's joined us and everybody else in our gang. It's super awesome. We had our first big break this year, and that came in the form of Danganronpa, released for the Nintendo Switch. I really was waiting for this one for a long time, and lo and behold, for the first time ever in my life, I actually got a copy of the game physically a day before the release. So I was able to post the unboxing of the special edition, and it really didn't disappoint. It was awesome. You should check out my video of it on the page. It's really, really cool. There was a lot of great stuff, and it just really kind of blew up our page a lot, and it was beautiful and awesome. If you don't know Danganronpa, this one came with 1, 2, and 3. It's a great set to pick up if you've never played the game before. You're a bunch of kids in this crazy world trying to play basically death games. The writing's really cool. The gameplay is pretty fun for the most part. The music and everything overall is just very, very memorable. It is visual novel styled for the most part, but there is a lot of kind of like action sequences that they have with the courtroom battles that you do at the end of every round, so to speak. Continuing our relationship with NIS America this year, the first game that we got was Poison Control. Poison Control was kind of cool because graphically and visually it looked really, really cool, and it's kind of like a shooter game, if anything, but there's a lot of bullet management and ammo management that you have to do in the game. It starts out really, really cool, but holy cow, did it get brutally difficult. If you like strategic shooters, and you like anime, and you like really cool art visuals, especially a lot of throwbacks to classic NIS America stuff, like the Prinnies from Disgaea, you might like this one. I'd check it out. I have a guilty pleasure, and I found it this year with another Edith. I know it didn't come out this year, but at the beginning of the year and throughout the year, I really did get hooked on this one. This thing is an absolute masterpiece. A ton of people get very, very thrown off by gacha games. They hate games and they won't support them that have anything like the microtransactions and all this stuff. But this game is truly, truly different. I really cannot express that enough. You can play the heck out of this game, as I have, without spending a single dime. It seems there's a bunch of whales in the community that keep this game going, and because of it, there is so many things that are offered for free, and the content is just a giant rabbit hole you can get down with. On top of that, another thing that I really, really like is the inclusion of all the different crossovers. They had Chrono Cross that I played, there was a Persona 5 one even. It was awesome, and you get the characters through playing. You don't have to do any of that gacha scrub stuff for it, you just play it, and it's super, super awesome. You get tons of tokens too for free rolls, so free roll yourself away. That's what I do for my gameplay. Definitely check this one out. Do not sleep on it. It's good on mobile, it's also great on PC. Next game I covered came straight from Japan itself, The Legend of NAYUTA, the remaster. This was originally a PSP game, and holy cow, have they done justice with the remaster on this one. Now, it's not a remake, so it still does look like the original game with all its 2D sprites and stuff, but it was cleaned up, the textures were boosted, and it just looks and plays absolutely beautiful. It is on Steam, you can get it now, but it's only in Japanese, but pretty soon, we're gonna get an American release. So if you buy the Japanese copy now, you'll be able to patch it later for English, because that's gonna be added for free, or if you just wanna wait, you're more than welcome to. There's plenty of other really great stuff out too to play in the meantime. One of the funnest games that I played this year was Demon Gaze Extra, and it's actually the only first-person dungeon crawler game that I got to play this year as well. At least as far as I remember. The game has really interesting, if not a little ecchi, character design. There's a lot of really interesting creatures. The world's very interesting. There's a lot of unique places to explore, a bunch of different teams you can manage. It really is a very strategical game, but it's also kind of easy enough that you could play it as a person who doesn't like extreme challenges, especially with the easier difficulty modes. If I remember right, they didn't include a VO for the English part of it, but it is good and it's fine to listen to the Japanese. It's very good Japanese VO for sure. If you like dungeon crawlers, which I know is a little bit of an older thing, but if you do like them, this one definitely should be on your list if you don't have it already. It plays great on the Nintendo Switch. I'm gonna leave part one of the video off with a very major release. It was Pokemon Legends Arceus. Both myself and Bree were very excited to play this. While it was worth the wait, it is a little rough around the edges in so many parts, but this was when the Pokemon Company really took a chance with something using its lesser dev team, and they really made something unique, and they made something that shines. It's definitely a game that is gameplay over everything. I mean, literally everything, but it is a ton of fun. If you like Pokemon, but you want something different, you want to get a different feel about it, you want to see the world differently, this is a really great game. It's open world-ish. There's just, you see Pokemon roaming around, there's a big world around you, there's item collecting, crafting, a bunch of really good stuff. It feels fresh, inclusion of side missions really helps out, and it's just something that we really enjoyed. It's not for everyone, but if it sounds like something for you, I'd definitely check it out if you haven't already. So that there was 15 of the games that we played in 2022. I had a really good time with those games, and definitely I'm going to make a part 2 of this video, which will cover even more. In fact, the more recent stuff, and some of them are quite memorable. Stay tuned for it, or if it's already out, check it out after this one. Appreciate everyone coming in. If you like this content, hit the thumbs up. If you don't, hit the thumbs down, let us know. Subscribe for more anime news reviews and gaming. I'm Dre with Yokoso Otaku, and I'll catch you on the next one.